Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley with you here on this Tuesday when we're getting ready to talk about more cold weather coming our way. The big chill coming back. We kind of got away from it today. A pretty pleasant afternoon with temperatures all the way in the upper 50s. So we had a lot of warmth, or at least a little bit of it, to enjoy for now. But like I said, get ready for a big change. You can see it behind me going all the way down only into the 30s and 40s Thursday and Friday with morning temperatures that are going to be pretty tough to take. Wind chills will be all the way down in that 10 to 20 degree range. You know what I meant. Either way, it's going to be cold going into those next couple of days, so we are getting you ready for all of it. I'm going to start you out by looking at some of the beautiful, and I mean beautiful, sunsets that we had across the region tonight. Take a look. This is from Burlington earlier this evening. The sunset, by the way, right now is happening at about 5:28 or so. So we're closing in on 5:30 for your sunset each and every evening now. So we're getting a little bit more daylight on the flip side, but I just wanted to play this through for you another little bit. Take a look. You see those clouds? So when you get a sunset, and you want it to be really beautiful, you actually want there to be some clouds, not to block the sunshine. You have to have the sunshine, but you need somewhat of a canvas for that light to reflect up on. So what happens at this point is those clouds up ahead are pretty gray, but as the sun gets at just the right angle, it reflects off it. You see that? So at that point in time, the sun is catching those clouds just right, and we're seeing that beautiful coloration to the sky, and it kind of just works its way through those clouds. You really would rather have upper level clouds. Upper level clouds are what you prefer to get a nice sunset. We have that in Burlington. Here's another view, same idea, from Winston-Salem this evening. There goes the sun, and a little bit of a higher angle here. You're able to see that coloration of the clouds. So it was a beautiful one this evening. A couple of you sent us some pictures as well. No matter where you were, it seems like pretty much all of us got our hands in on some of this. Kathy had a beautiful picture. This is up in Stokes County earlier tonight. Up in the Lawsonville area, pretty close to the Virginia state line. Alex Purdue caught a view as well. So the overall theme of the forecast is hopefully enjoy the warmth today. Temperatures like this aren't sticking around all that much longer. Instead, we're going to be going back to colder weather. And it all has to do with a cold front that's still marching its way closer and closer to our area. Clouds will be thickening up tonight into tomorrow. They'll be thickening up tomorrow into tomorrow night, and that's where we could start to see a couple of sprinkles or scattered rain showers. So if we look at the wide view across the country, this right here, that's your cold front. So it's already making some decent progress. It's moving our way, and by this time tomorrow, we'll start to track for you at least a couple of rain chances and moving our way. So that's kind of the idea with this cold front and pushing into our area. So let's time it out for you. On the Futurecast model here, you'll notice the warmth kind of hanging on tight for one more day. We'll have more clouds tomorrow, so I would expect us to kind of be held back into the low 50s. But here's the front. And once you get the front to come our way, there's the cold air, there's the wind as well. This is kind of moving in, and notice on the back side you have some snow, and on the front side you have a little bit of rain. One of our tried and true snow rules around here is that if you want to get some, you've got to have cold air in place first, and we don't really have that this time. So it certainly looks to me like we'll have a couple of scattered rain showers, spotty ones, tomorrow night. And then into Thursday we go, into Friday we go. That's when the cold and dry air starts to really settle in and kind of take over for us. So we have a couple of cold and dry days on the way. Now it's also going to be very windy. Not tomorrow necessarily. We'll see some decent winds, but tomorrow night into Thursday morning, you see right there, those winds are going to be whipping around at about 30 miles per hour. So when you factor that in with the cold air that'll already be around too, the wind chills are going to be difficult. I mean, take a look at this. Feeling like below zero in the North Carolina mountains, feeling like 12, 13, 18 degrees and Thursday morning, that's tough. Thursday afternoon, it's no walk in the park either. This is during the warmest part of the day, and it's feeling like around 20 degrees. So this is going to be pretty nasty here. We'll have a similar case on Friday. Temperatures Friday morning will be right there in the teens, okay? And not much of a wind, but still at least a little bit of one to make it feel colder than that. So very cold weather is on the way. Now, where do we go after that? By the weekend, we're still going to be cold. And we should be cold enough that we'll at least have to watch carefully if any precipitation is able to form Saturday or Sunday or Monday. It could be cold enough for it to be snow. The problem is that right now it looks mostly like it'll be dry. Now, there have been a couple of models at times in this big dip in the jet stream that have tried to spit out some snow. It's not saying that's a good bet. It's a low chance in my mind right now, but I do think we at least don't want to write it off just yet. For tomorrow night, we can pretty much write it off. For Sunday, I think it's still worth watching a little. And there are some models that have shown a little promise at times if you're trying to get winter weather. So not the case for tomorrow. That'll be mostly some action for the North Carolina mountains. But into the weekend we go. You see here, on Saturday, there are a couple of little drizzles and sprinkles popping up on the models, and then looking ahead towards Sunday, it wants to do something like this. I don't really believe much of any of that, but what I'm saying to you, let's just wait. Let's just hold on and keep our eyes on things, because you see what I mean here. Tomorrow night, mostly just dry with a sprinkle or two. But by Saturday night into Sunday, there's at least a hope and a prayer and a chance that you might see a couple of scattered snow showers across North Carolina. So I'm not saying there's a good chance, but I'm not ruling it out just yet either. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Always difficult to communicate those small risks and small chances and opportunities. Here's the 7-day forecast. I still have us in the 50s for tomorrow. It'll be in the 30s in the morning, warming up into the 50s for the afternoon, and then going into Thursday and Friday, very cold weather. It'll be feeling like 10 to 20 degrees each of those mornings, warming up a little for Saturday, but I am going to keep at least a 20% chance of a sprinkle or a flurry Saturday and Sunday. So let's keep an eye on that. Staying cold and dry going into early next week. That's your forecast. We're going to be right back here in just about 2 minutes.